Welcome, adventurers. Welcome to our live stream. We are so excited. We're going to have Joanna and Tom on from the Vacationeers, and they're going to introduce themselves in just a second. We were so excited to have everybody here on our second live stream. Are we not, Chris?
We are very excited. Welcome to Adventures by D and the Vacationeers Theme Parks and More combo live stream.
That's right. We've been fortunate enough. We've been on their podcast many times, and Chris has been on the YouTube channel. So I hope to be invited onto their YouTube channel someday, by the way. But with that, before they dig into their latest Disney trip, I thought I would have Joanna and Tom kind of introduce themselves to our group and talk a little bit about their podcast on the YouTube channel, just introduce themselves. So who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Joanna. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Joanna. I'm Tom's sister, and you'll find I'm the Andy Richter of the Vacationeers podcast. So as Tom and Chris and Dave are all Disney insiders, I'm more of the Disney outsider. So I fill in a lot of questions for Tom to try to give context to things, because I'm not quite as good at all this theme park stuff as Tom is, but I do enjoy going. I love being at the parks. I love going on the rides. I just don't enjoy the planning as much.
And that's where Tom comes in.
Yes, that's right. That's where I step in.
You want
I take
vacation?
Over. Well, good could be argued. Certain people in my family may not say it's so great, but they get a lot done, and that's where I step in. Yeah. So yeah, we have a podcast, Vacationeers, Theme Parks, and More. It can be found anywhere. YouTube. Wow, on iTunes or Stitcher, Google Play. Although I think Google Play Music, didn't they switch over to iTunes Music?
Not sure.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I keep getting warnings saying that I'm going to lose my Google playlist and I have to switch over to or YouTube Music or something. I don't know. I could be totally off base on that, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, we have a podcast where we talk about all vacations, not just Disney, but cruises, beach getaways, Disney, of course. Right now, we just got back from our Disney trip where my son Ian and I went with a couple friends. So a lot of our YouTube content at this point is Disney related. And the Disney podcast has yet to be released because we've had some issues with that one. We literally went on vacation. The Disney trip was the first full week of January, I believe. And we recorded that podcast like the weekend after we got back, or the weekend that we got back.
You guys literally came back, and then we recorded right away.
Yeah, we came back like on a Thursday.
Kids were all excited.
Yep. 3 hours of recording, and something happened where 2/3 of it got chewed up and it's unusable. We couldn't use it. So Joanna and I then went back and re-recorded piecemeal, put it together. So that's all done. All the recording's done. Now I'm just editing it all together in this Frankenstein mess. So, one day, one way. I think I'm halfway through. I think I have an hour and 10 minutes recorded now. Unfortunately, our record for longest episode was your guys' Disney vacation. And
Sorry.
I fear this is going to exceed that.
Uh-oh.
Right now, with about an hour and 10 minutes edited, I think this one is about 2:05 still. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to edit out like a good 5 or 6 minutes. We'll have to wait and see. So,
Well, that's good for a big long car trip. Just load up your podcast and you're there.
if you can stand it, yeah.
And had Dave just gotten onto Galaxy's Edge?
Well, not Galaxy's Edge.
What is it?
Yeah, my question
Rise.
Yes, my
Rise,
question
I'm
was going to
sorry.
be for you, Tom. Did you get to rise to the resistance? Dave did
I
not want me to
rose.
ask.
I'm like, don't make their vacation about me. I'll get on the ride eventually.
It was rough. If you want to get into it, we can certainly do so. We tried the 7 a.m. reservation, failed miserably, and I had little expectation for the 1 p.m. But two of us, my son and I, both got the same reservation at 1. We were standing. What was that? What's that lake?
Well, Gertie is the dinosaur.
No.
Escapes me.
Dinosaur? I don't know. It's right outside of Galaxy's Edge. On, like the one edge of it, not the where you go in, but like you would exit. I don't know where it's near, actually. I don't know. But that's where we actually walked around, looked for the best places for the Wi-Fi and the 4G. And we went there and we got it. Man, we were so excited. Although you wouldn't know it from our YouTube channel or our YouTube video of that park day, because we were so intense about getting it that we actually didn't record like any lead up or us getting it. It's just the video just kind of goes like, oh yeah, hey, look, we got it. Kind of anticlimactic to say the least. However, man, it was that day was so stressful in general. But man, that felt so good to get that and be able to ride it.
He's rubbing it in, Dave. He's rubbing it in.
What, Chris, why don't you tell the story how we found Tom and Joanna?
So
now, I say we, I mean you.
Yeah, so I can't wait. I am one of your probably hugest podcast fans, but I truly, on your podcast, and I'll tell the story about how I found you, but at the end of each podcast, you do have a message that says, if you want to come on, you can reach out. And I did. And here we are talking. We've talked several times since. So.
Only people.
Yep. We're so happy you did. We were about to give up on talking to anybody. We tried to give away tickets to Busch Gardens and nothing.
That's where, and actually it's funny because when I started listening, my son was on a school trip and I was a chaperone, and we had, as a part of the school trip, we went to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. So on the way back, on a very long bus ride on the way back, I listened to a ton of Disney podcasts and Universal and all sorts of stuff. I was like, I wonder if anybody does one at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. And so when I searched, you guys came up. You were the only ones. And I have not since searched because you cover it so fully. I don't need to listen to another podcast on it. You go to everything that's there.
Yes.
And I happened to, one of the first episodes I listened to was you were giving away a free ticket if somebody wanted to join you to go to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. And over the course of all the podcasts, no one ever took you up on it.
Not a soul. Not a soul. If you ever listen to those episodes, I can't blame anyone for not taking us up on it. You're like, man, why would anyone want to hang out with these people?
It's awesome though. I like it. You guys cover so many things. And the thing I like the most is you cover your family vacations, your cruises, but you also cover the planning that goes into it, the cost that you're looking at. You did, it's 2 years ago now, that big California trip. And let me tell you guys, when these guys go on a trip, it is like they go, dawn till long since dusk, and they cram in. I don't think your family rests. I don't know if anyone gets sleep, but and you share all of it and what your plan's going to be, and then you come back and kind of share what happened. And you have your YouTube channel where you share videos, but previously you did a lot of POV, like ride videos of the places you were going to. Yeah. We started the podcast mainly so my teenage son and I could bond, because once they hit 17, 16. They don't want to hang out with they don't want to hang out with their dad. You know what I mean? So he is a big coaster fan as well. So I figured, we'll just do this podcast and I'll throw Joanna in and we'll just have a good time. And the whole thing was just so I could spend time with him, a bonding way for something for us to have in common. And I found that talking the vacations and stuff is really good because you like that California trip. Like if I want to go back, I'll be like, well, what did I do? Like, what did we go do? I don't remember what we did. I can just listen to the podcast, like, oh yeah. And we talk about it in such detail that it's like, just like a little time capsule of what we did and how we planned it and the things we did. It's wonderful. It's absolutely fantastic. And I hope it's something my family, long after I'm gone, they probably won't listen, but possibly, like, oh, you remember when we went to California? And they'll be like, well, I don't remember that much. They can actually go back, listen to the podcast and be like, oh yeah, Dad was insane.
I can see Ian with his kids sitting around listening to old podcasts.
Yes. Watching old YouTube videos.
This is Grandpa in his prime.
This is back when YouTube was a thing that doesn't exist anymore. whatever the next thing will be after this medium, right?
Oh, exactly. So yeah, that's the reason for starting it. And I mean, it's just a good time. We just like talking, Joanna and I, if we weren't recording, we'd still just sit around and just chat. So might as well record it and send it out there. And if anybody likes likes listening to it, then so be it. If
and
not,
even better.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing. I mean, you get to spend so little time with family as adults.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I get this time with my brother, and it's really kind of nice.
Yeah. And I don't really want to spend any other time with any other family member. So this is perfect. I'm joking. Not that anybody's listening or watching.
They wouldn't know.
No. Yeah. Our family is certainly not watching.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Well, you guys started your channel because of your daughter, right?
Yeah,
That's
we
how
started.
that all started.
Yeah, no, it's okay, Tom. She had the channel back and she's had it for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and we really got involved in quarantine. She had the name, she had her tagline, and she was really working it hard. And so quarantine came around, and the world changed for everybody. And we're like,
Yeah.
we enjoy going to theme parks. Let's see what we can do, and got more and more involved, and still trying to figure it out as we go here. But it's fun, and we shoot video anyway in the park, so we thought a fun way to get involved and shoot different videos and get both kids involved. Dean's a little bit more involved in the animal parks versus Madison's all about the thrill rides.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joanna, when you said on the last podcast that you're going to be visiting the National Aquarium, we've been, Dean's a huge aquarium fan. So I know Tom said he wasn't into the animals, but a part of our family is very into the animals here. So
nice.
we've been
How
to-
is it up there? I'm kind of worried about the quarantine rules with everything going on. If we can get in.
That's interesting. We went several years ago, obviously before this, but the National Aquarium was really nice. It was really nice. It was kind of cool. They had a walkway that you kind of walked up ramps, and in the middle there was like an open pool area, if I remember it correctly, for it. I mean, it's really close to Camden Yards and all of that there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we're going up. I think it's next weekend. So I'm really looking forward to trying to get into it. So
yeah, it was
that's
really
next
nice.
weekend. Oh yeah, take a video camera up, record it.
Oh, that would be neat. See, this is where I fail. As
Miserably.
podcast.
Man, I've asked for video before, and it comes back, and it's just a garbled mess. Like no continuity. Like, have you even considered how I was going to try to put this together? No, just random crap. Like, oh my god, yeah. It's
I'm
awful.
absolutely terrible.
No, it is. Yeah, you have to think of it like, all right, he's going to put it together and try to make a cohesive video. So I need an opening, a middle, and an end. And nope, it's just like throwing the camera. Yeah, it's pretty messy. But this time you're gonna excel, and we're gonna have an awesome aquarium video.
I'll see what we can do.
It will beat the Gatorland wrestling.
Oh, nothing's gonna beat Gatorland.
And we have watched your video on Gatorland Wrestling.
Oh,
Alligator
you're the
Wrestling.
other one.
We're
one
the
to
reason
12.
it got up to 12 views for you. So.
I watched the Invasion HHN to give it an extra view.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's just awful. Yeah, no one watches that. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun keeping stats. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So back at Disney, can you give us like kind of the itinerary? If you and Joanna hit every park, or how you went about the parks, as far as your time down there, and if you did a full day in each park, and if you went anywhere special to eat or any special merch.
Yeah, sure. Well, Joanna didn't join us, unfortunately. It was just Ian, Jill, and Eric. Ian. Jill is Ian's girlfriend, and Eric is their friend as well. So it was me and an 18-year-old, and I think they're both 19. So we went down for 4 days, and the first day was Magic Kingdom. Second day was Hollywood Studios, then Epcot, then Animal Kingdom. And obviously Hollywood Studios was the big, oh Lord, that day. Yeah, that's the stress day. So we went down, we drove down overnight Saturday, got there early Sunday morning, checked into our hotel, went to the Disney outlet store, bought some merch there, then went to Disney Springs. Didn't spend a lot of time there. We kind of got in, but because they have the virtual queuing for their stores, so we had to do the virtual queue for the outlet store. So we had like wait an hour before we could get in, and then we got to Disney Springs, the main Disney store, whatever that was, at the World of Disney or something like that. That store also had virtual queuing, and we're like, no, okay, we're not doing that. So we just walked around a little bit. We ate at where did we eat? Some cook, I don't know, some TV guy. I don't know.
The chicken guy.
Ooh, chicken guy. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, chicken guy. Yeah, we ate
guy.
there. I got some type of shake. There's like triple mint chocolate shake or something. Oh, so good, so good. So we ate there, then we just went back to the hotel, crashed, stopped at Publix, got some supplies because our room had a full refrigerator and a microwave, and there's no oven or anything, but it had all the utensils. So it was really weird. Like, oh, I guess you could have a fancy nuked dinner, but it's no stove or anything. It's very, very odd. And then we got up, went to Magic Kingdom the first day. Had a blast, obviously. You can't go wrong with Magic Kingdom. And it wasn't too busy. And I'm trying to think exactly what details of the Magic Kingdom day. Oh, you know what was interesting? They had the lagoon drained because they were doing the whatever. They were, I guess, replacing that railing or how the track goes in. So that was really weird to see how that was just all empty. And now it's filled back in, which is nice. But now they have Tom Sawyer Island open in part, but a lot of the stuff they don't have going right now. So I don't know if it'd be worth a hassle, because I think I heard that you can only do like 4 groups on that little boat at the moment, which seems like getting out there might not be bad, but getting back, you'd be waiting for a very long time, and that wouldn't be no bueno. So yeah, we did that, and obviously, Haunted Mansion a couple of times. Splash Mountain was a blast. We got to do Hall of Presidents before they shut that down, unfortunately, for the Trump supporters. That thing closed down really shortly after the election was done. Of course, I could not max out. I'm so bummed. Could not max out Buzz Lightyear. Man, I tell you, your video, Chris, you made it look so easy. No, not easy. Well, I tried it the first time I did it. I tried to record and control it and shoot. Yeah, no way. That was just, I got like, I don't know if I broke like 1,000. Like my score was so bad. I was like, okay, that's just awful. Then the second time we did it, I was shooting at the wrong robot hand. Like, the robot, you're supposed to shoot the left one. It's his left. And I was shooting at my left. Like I was shooting at the wrong one. Yeah, I just, that was awful. Absolutely disgusting. But yeah, it was a good day. Do you want me to continue onward to the next day?
Sure, why not?
All right, let's keep going. So then we did Hollywood Studios, like I said, no 7 a.m. And then we get the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. 9 o'clock opening. We're in that queue at 8:30. All the other rides are going. Everyone early access, having a great time. Nope, not Runaway Railway. That sucker. They make an announcement that it's not gonna open until park opening, 9 o'clock. Like, okay, well, we're here now. We're invested. We know the queue is now much bigger. Like if we get out, it's going to be a long queue. So we wait till 9. Then they make an announcement approaching 9 o'clock. They make an announcement. Well, we're not going to be able to open at 9, maybe 9:05. Like they just string you along, right? Like, okay, well, I mean, we can't leave if it's going to be 5 minutes, right? It doesn't make no sense. We have to stay. Then I think around 9, between 9 and 9:05, they made that last announcement where they're like, yeah, it's down. We suggest everyone just go right to the right. And I was like, they inside the queue, inside the building, they emptied the queue. So anybody who was in the queue, they were forced to leave. It was the only people in the outside queue that got to stay. And we were literally the second group. Like there was 2 people ahead of us, and then we were the next ones to go into the building, which was empty now because they emptied it. And of course, Ian's like throwing a fit, like, this is awful. What a waste. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to do. I honestly didn't know if we should leave because at this point, I think it's like 9:30. And everyone else came in, right? All the GPs are in. All the lines are filled up now. So there's no, like the early access, the getting there when the park opens, that benefit is totally gone now. Now all the queues are filled up. So there's just really no point to get out of this line unless you walk out and like it's like it opens right up, or if you stay in and it's close to like 11 o'clock, you're like, oh god, no. But luckily, I think it was like 9. It was about an hour. It was about an hour and a half total time we waited. So 8:30, 9:30, 10. How you like that math skills? 10 o'clock, the thing opens up, and oh man, what a great ride! Like, as soon as it started, like all the stress and all the like, oh no, this day is blown up, all just melted away. It's such a great ride. I know you guys really, really enjoyed it. And Joanna, I'm telling you, when you get down there and you get to ride that ride, man, it is a blast. It is so much fun. So good. They did that so well. So we got out of there, and like I said, it's 10 o'clock now, and we rode one ride. So we're like, all right, well, Tower of Terror, let's do it. And we walk out there, and it's a 90-minute wait, and like, oh God, wow, this is just awful. So we get into that queue, and I mean, this queue, I don't know how long you guys waited when you were down in the summer, but like I don't know where we were. I think we're back near Phantasmic, like we're back out that way. I mean, we're in this crazy queue that's just snaking around all the stuff and snaking inside each other. So we actually get to the actual Tower of Terror queue, which is like an hour into the wait, and it goes down. They make an announcement. Tower of Terror is temporarily down. It'll be back up shortly. And I was like, oh my God, this is so awful. So, but it took about 90 minutes. So it got back up. It was like 15 minutes. It jumped back up. We're like, all right, we're good. So we're in the park for 3 hours and rode 2 attractions. That's it. And like, oh man, this is rough. This is a rough start of the day. The most stressful day without a doubt. Because also keep in mind, we never got the 7 a.m. Rise of Resistance tickets or the reservation. And the people we're ahead of, like the people we're behind. There's these 2, I guess teenagers. Yeah, they're teenagers. Probably not late teens. No, I'm so bad. I'm so old now that everyone looks like really young. Like, wait, how can you be drinking alcohol? You're 12. Like, no, she's 23. Like, what? So yeah, these two girls. In fact, oh, here they are. Okay, if you're watching the video, I think I fall in line behind the 2 girls trailing right there. So how old do you guys say they are? I don't know. They're probably what, 17, 18, maybe 16, 14, 12, 11. I don't know. I got nothing. The range varies so much. But those 2 girls, so we're behind them for the entire 90 minutes. In the entire 90 minutes, they're talking about they have some reservation down at Disney Springs for lunch. And they have their Rise reservation, and they're like, yeah, well, maybe we'll skip it. Yeah, maybe we'll get down to dinner. Yeah, we only came to the park so we could ride Tower of Terror. And, if we got Rise, that's fine. And then they're talking on the phone like, yeah, well, maybe we'll just skip out on Rise. Like, what are you talking about? Skip out on Rides? You lucky sons of guns. Oh, man, I was like, I can't believe. Like, and that's like 90 minutes of torture listening to them discuss whether or not they're going to stay to use their Rise of the Resistance reservation or skip it so they could do some stupid lunch down at Disney Springs. Oh my Lord. It was like, you're just putting a knife in my heart.
See, this is so great because this was over a month ago and you can still hear the stress and all of this. Like, oh my God, the ride is broken. It's like he's living it again.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not good.
You got several good POVs out of it though, Tom, especially here in Tower of Terror.
I love how you did the ride logo in there too. Like for each ride that you have the logo. It's really cool throughout all your park days.
Some are easier than others. I will say that. Trying to find those logos and getting them so I can put them on there. Some rides, it's a little bit harder to track down.
I have to confess, as soon as I saw the video come out and I saw the Tower of Terror, I hit pause on your video and watched David S. Pumpkins and then came back.
Yes. I can't blame you for that. I cannot blame it. Oh, man. So good. Yeah. But I must say, I may ask you guys this because I rode Tower of Terror and what is it? 2 years ago, we did the California and we rode the rethemed Galaxy, Guardians of Galaxy. I got to tell you, that Guardians of Galaxy, I think it's a better ride. I was kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy, in between drops, they have scenes, like little vignettes, where this one is kind of like just like you're just dropping. And after it's done, I felt like, it wasn't as good. And I love Tower of Terror.
I love them both. Mission Breakout's kind of different. I think what you lose in the actual ride in California, you kind of gain with the music and the high def pictures of the Marvel characters running around.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
scenes.
I would love a combination of both, where you actually, when you get to the top, like in Florida, the elevator actually moves out versus just up and down the shaft. But yeah, I really like Mission Breakout. I love the collector as you go in, all the theming, and then the pre-show with the Rocket Raccoon. That's really awesome too, I think.
Yeah, that's really nice. And as far as the POVs, I recorded every attraction. Every attraction we did, I did the POV on. So I have a lot of POVs. Now, obviously, some of the darker ones, if it didn't turn out, I'm not going to release it. But anything that looks vaguely good, I will release. And another interesting thing that I noticed. So for Frozen Ever After, I had my phone, my I don't know where it's at now. Oh yeah, my Galaxy S10, which you can see it's no longer cracked. I had got my insurance. Dinosaur destroyed my S10. It's so rough that I had it in my pocket and just going back and forth. It just put a huge crack in it and just spider web the entire phone. It was awful, but I had to put. So I recorded Frozen with that and my GoPro, and when I was editing the video, I looked at both of them side by side, and man, the Galaxy did such better job with the low light. The GoPro was so much darker. I think maybe in one of my vlogs, I will show both side by side and show the comparison of the two. And I know I have I have a work phone. I have the iPhone i12 or whatever. I'm not a big Apple fan. It's the iPhone 12, I guess. And it's supposed to have good low light, I believe. And my wife actually has the iPhone 12 Pro. So I think I want to do a couple of low light comparisons with those two, and maybe I'll add it to the channel just to see how they do. But I was shocked at the difference between those two for that.
We've heard that Samsung that you have is like one of the best low light cameras.
Yeah.
Period. Like very, very good. We've been curious with the iPhone if you can film some of those dark rides. We have our Sony camera we use, and we do night scenes when we film, but you have to be really steady. It crops it, and you have to be so controlled because it'll
it'll bleed. Like yeah. Unfortunately, I've come across that many a times with night video, especially like Christmas. Like you're walking through a park with the Christmas lights. It's just all like blurry and shaky. Yeah, it's pretty rough. But yeah. So we'll have a ton of POVs to release, including Rise of the Resistance.
Now I'm going to skip that one myself because I'm waiting till we can finally write it.
I tried not to show too much in the video. I tried not to put too much in it. Did you by chance though see the little kid who had his hands up? You probably skipped that entire section. The little kid had his hands up because at a certain point. No, spoiler. Okay, never mind. I guess I won't say anything.
I've seen enough POVs though. Chris won't watch the POVs.
You get captured by the people. Damn it! What is it? I'll admit I am not a huge Star Wars nerd. You are the Resistance, so the Republic, I guess, are the antagonists in this. The bad guys. Is that accurate?
The Empire.
The Empire. Okay.
First Order.
First Order. Yeah. So they capture you at some point, and so the cast members are. The Empire. So they're like, get out of here. Blah, blah. And there's this little kid in the video. You have to watch it. He has his hands up and he's walking. And the guy's like, oh, don't be silly. Put your hands down. It was just so funny. It was very cute. It was very nice. The kid had his hands up like he was under arrest. So funny. Good stuff. But yeah, Rise. Oh, man. It was worth the stress. Well, I mean, so that park is just such a good park. I mean, if it were fully opened up and they had the shows and they had Fantasmic going, 100% that park it'd be unstoppable. I mean, that park is top notch.
And you were most looking forward to that one, right? Because it's changed so much since you were in there last.
Oh, wow. Night and day. Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah. 2015, Joanna and I, our families went down together.
So can I ask? For Joanna, did you get your cupcake? Because I know that's all Joanna wants from Hollywood Studios.
Cupcake.
Did you get that cupcake that you love? I didn't see it on the video, so.
She didn't. Go
No,
down there.
she didn't go down.
But I know, but Tom, I'm
How'd you
asking
get
if
the-
Tom did.
get the-
Oh,
Did
did
you
I
get the
buy it
cupcake?
for her? We don't live in the same town.
But I mean,
Plus-
for yourself to indulge.
Oh, whoa. Did Joanna do it?
No, for you.
No,
When
did
you
you do
went,
it?
did you get the cupcake?
I thought you asked Joanna. Am I insane?
Just a little bit.
You did say, Joanna, I'm asking you, did
No,
you get the cupcake?
She asked me because I always ask about the cupcakes
Oh my
because you
Lord.
love the
Wow,
cupcakes so
okay.
much.
See, this is why we don't do live. We would cut all this out in the podcast.
This is all
Yeah,
cut
we
out.
cut this out in the podcast.
All right, cut, stop everything.
Because I do love that cupcake place. This is the first time Tom took us there and said, okay, it was 9 o'clock in the morning. Everyone get a cupcake.
Butterfinger cupcake. Oh my God. No,
So good.
we didn't eat. I'm trying to think if we ate anything because that night we went to Universal City Walk and we ate at Cowfish. So we were kind of saving our appetites for that. I don't know if we may have gotten some type of light snack. In fact, we got the milk, right? We got the blue milk. I got the I think it was Bacardi and blue milk mix, which was very, very good. But I don't know if we got any food. We may
Did you
got
get a Ronto wrap?
No. Yeah, we didn't get any food inside Galaxy's Edge other than that drink. And we almost didn't get the drink because we went up to it because the kids wanted to get it. Well, kids, young adults wanted to get it. And it was like $7 for just the regular one, non-alcoholic. And they're like, well, that's a little expensive. And I was like, yeah, that's a little pricey. But then they decided to splurge. And then I decided to splurge a little bit more and get the Bacardi one. Very good. If you guys didn't get the Bacardi one, very well done.
No, we had the blue and the green a couple times. We've not had the alcohol.
No, because
So,
we probably need
green-
to.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do. The green though, isn't that floral? Isn't it like a floral taste? That sounds
Yes,
awesome.
it's more fruity than the blue, definitely. I actually prefer it's a little to me a little bit like Fruity Pebbles, like the cereal. If you remember that.
I like a mixed.
I love Fruity Pebbles.
One of them tastes like, I can't remember which one. One of them tastes like that. You know, it's funny you say that the milk's expensive because the soda and the, special
circles,
Coca-Cola
yeah.
things, those things are $6 themselves just for
Wow.
the bomb looking. It's at least, right? The
Yeah.
Coca-Colas. Like they're
What
really,
size is
we
that
have,
though? Is that a full 12 ounce?
I feel like it's not, it probably
There's
is.
no way. Is that
But
12 ounce? I don't
We
think
have,
so.
we probably
I don't
we
know.
have a few.
I don't know how many ounces are in a
I bet you it's
thermal
8.
detonator. But
Yeah, that's what it is, the thermal net.
Thermal detonator.
Here we are in your Galaxy's Edge video right here.
Yeah, here we
Yeah.
are. Yeah. See, it's not too busy, right? I mean, it's Galaxy's Edge, right?
I've seen it more crowded. I've seen it less crowded. It's
Oh, I think we're
Hard to-
about to talk. I think we're about to get the milk for our video. It's gonna be exciting.
now you went down towards the end of January, right?
Beginning.
Or beginning?
Beginning, yeah. We were supposed to go
End of
the
December.
second week of December, early December. But then my wife got COVID. She's a nurse, and she contracted it at work, and that totally screwed up our plan. Like Thanksgiving week, she was told that one of her coworkers had it. She got tested, even though she was completely asymptomatic. And to her surprise, she was positive. So with the whole 10-day or 12-day or 14-day, we're kind of on the cusp of when being able to be free, as far as the CDC allowing us to go. So we just postponed it till the beginning of January. So it turned out to work itself out, I suppose. Although it would have been nice. Like now, when we went the first week of January, there's my Bacardi, and oh, that's so good. They still had Christmas stuff going on, but it was totally lost on me because it was January 4th, 5th. I was like, I don't want Christmas stuff. I'm done with it. Get rid of it and move on. But yeah, in second week of December, I would have really appreciated the Christmas music and decorations, whereas now not so much.
The weather, I've watched all the main vlogs of the parks. The weather looked like you have beautiful weather every day.
Oh my Lord. It was so on the way down, we drove down Saturday night. It rained almost the entire time. It was awful. Just awful trip down. Once we got down there on Sunday, it rained a little bit because that wasn't a park day. But then Monday through Thursday, not a cloud in the sky. Gorgeous weather. Then, of course, Thursday night, we're driving back up to Virginia. And on the way up, it starts raining again. I guess it works out, right? I mean, it's better rain when we're driving than when in the parks. But
You guys do bonsai trips, man. You go hard. You like drove, 12 hours and then you ran on Twitter, you posted literally everything you were doing. So I was following along and you went straight to the outlets and then you went straight to Disney Springs and then you woke up early and, went to the parks every day and you hit it hard. I was counting the number of rides like in the Magic Kingdom you were doing, trying to figure out which ones you made a majority. Like you didn't do any of the Dumbos or the circle rides.
No.
You didn't do the Barnstormer, but you did almost everything else, I think.
Forgot the Barnstormer. Totally forgot it. I think at one point someone mentioned it to Ian and he like blew it off. Yeah. So if I would have known, I would have had him do it.
Both you and Ian are so tall. I have a feeling it would have hurt. Like your knees would have been.
yeah. It's a coaster and Jill, I mean, she's not really into the coaster credits thing, but still like, it'd be nice for her to ride it. It's a coaster. So. Yeah. I would have made him do it if I'd have known, if I'd have remembered. I totally. I mean, the Magic Kingdom, there's so many attractions. It's just hard to keep track of them all. And that's definitely not one of the, top ones, but.
And you guys kind of crisscrossed the park too. It was interesting because you started at Seven Dwarfs, right?
Yes.
In the Magic Kingdom day. I know we're already at Hollywood Studios, but then you went back and then kind of came.
You went back to the future.
Space Mountain and then across. Sorry, I don't mean to slap you, Dave.
No, it's okay. wouldn't be the first time.
First time she didn't mean it. We just I'm not really sure. I don't remember at the time. We just whatever was the lines were short and whatever. So we just.
Did you do when you were at Universal? Did you do Voodoo Donuts? I didn't know if I saw that.
Oh, you better believe we did. So what?
Nice.
At the end of this day, we wanted to go to Cowfish, obviously, and we didn't have any reservation. So we drive to City Walk, and we go to Cowfish, and they said, "Okay, it'll be an hour." So obviously, we're going to Voodoo. The plan was to get Voodoo Donuts for the next day. So we're like, "Oh, well, might as well do Voodoo now while we're waiting." So we do. So we're in line, and I don't know if it was Eric or I don't know who it was. They're like, well, I'm going to buy an extra donut for our appetizer so I can eat it now. And we're all like, that's a pretty good idea. So we all bought 2 donuts and we all had a donut waiting to get into Cowfish. It's the Bavarian cream one, whatever that's called. We all bought that one. And, oh man. Yeah. Voodoo Donuts. So good. So good.
And that's why he didn't eat the cupcake. He needed room.
I needed room for the Voodoo Donut. But you know what I got at Cowfish, Dave, and I think you'll like this because you're a big peanut butter guy. I got a peanut butter old fashioned, and it uses the peanut butter. I have it up in my cupboard. I can't remember what it's called now. It's really good though. But yeah, it was really really good. So
speaking of that, you need to try the vegan PB&J donut Voodoos. Like I don't even care if it's vegan; it could be whatever. But that is a slice of heaven right there, my friends.
He always gets that one.
Yes.
That's the problem. I always have to get the Bavarian because I love pudding. Like I love the pudding ones, filled one. So I always get that one. Then I always get like a second one, and I get something different. And it's just, jeez. And it's did you hear that? That was Ian.
Yes.
He's playing a video game.
You should tell him he was just on video here. We're looking at his back and his front. He doesn't even know it.
So PB&J.
Dave and Chris.
We know his priorities. Yeah.
So the PB&J is on the list, but there's just so many good ones. It's just hard to say, okay, I'm going to take this PB&J over all the other. It's just, especially when we go like during Halloween, because they always have a Halloween, like they have special Halloween ones. And yeah, I just got to just go there like every day and just get like 2 donuts. That'll be healthy.
And Joanna, speaking of Halloween, I know on the podcast you were talking about, you think you're planning a Universal trip, Halloween Horror Nights type thing. We're going. Hopefully we can. Like we're booked and everything, and hopefully it can work out, with everything. So we are planning to. But
nice.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah, we're trying to. We're hoping our son can come home. He's in Japan with the Marines. And we're just hoping he can come home. So, and what he wants to do is go to Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, she's doing it all wrong. She should be going over to Japan and hitting that Mario world,
No kidding.
We want to go to Japan in next year, 2022.
Okay.
This year, they're never going to let Americans in their country. Let's be realistic about it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But so we'll do, what is it? What there's a Disney there, right? Disney Sea or something?
Yeah, that's supposed to be like
Disney. Yeah.
there's 2 parks, and Disney Sea is supposed to be very, very nice.
Fantastic.
Some say the best Disney park, bar any of them. So I'd love to go over there to the Disney parks or just to the country too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
there's a whole country to see too. Besides,
Yeah.
That's
Because
secondary.
I wanted to climb Fuji as my trip. My
Wow.
son's in Okinawa, and he doesn't even want us to come there. He says, "Dad, it's a tiny island. No point in visiting there. Let's meet in Tokyo and do something." But he wants to do Disney, I think, just to drive Tom crazy.
Oh, if you guys are doing Disney and Universal, I'm in that trip. I don't care. I don't care if I'm invited.
And
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
show
go,
up.
and I'm taking all vertical video the whole time.
No. You can do the short stuff. I
There
guess.
you go. You can have a whole shorts playlist for Tom's YouTube channel.
Yeah, that'd be perfect because there's no continuity to it. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
so all vertical video, all kind of
1 minute at a time. Every
Yeah.
minute of the trip, just stop and start, and then it's like 356. I don't know how many shorts every day.
Oh, my
That'd be
Lord,
awesome.
yeah.
But I'll get one 12-hour video of the plane ride.
Oh, perfect. That's one. Yeah, just continuous, just the plane.
Sorry, Tom, I ran out of storage on my phone after the flight.
Can you use this? Well, the phone's recording, but it's in your pocket, so I'm not sure what good it is.
Something really cool happened about 6 hours in.
Hey, look, I
Well,
got peanut.
welcome the people listening on YouTube and watching on YouTube. We're talking to Tom and Joanna from the Vacationeers Theme Parks and More YouTube channel and podcast. I'm apologizing for the comments. I'm not sure why they're not on, so that's on us, and we'll get it fixed for the next stream. There's not really anything I could change on the fly. So Car Keys in the chat, and she's putting some notes in there. So enjoy the stream here as we continue. And we'll make sure to get the comments turned on in the next stream.
Oh, you guys, they can't see him, can they? Within the StreamYard.
No, they need to be. That's fine. It's a setting. It's on us, and we'll get it fixed for next stream. So apologies for that. Enjoying Tom and Joanna. Their local park is Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. So this might be a good time to pivot because our local park is Six Flags Over Georgia. And ours is not open, minus a couple drive-through events, which we went to. But I know Busch Gardens is open year-round. So why don't you tell us about that? I know you went for Mardi Gras, and give us a little color on Busch Gardens and your recent experience there, and what's it like to go to the theme park during the wintertime?
Yeah, this is the first time ever that Busch Gardens Williamsburg will be open all 12 months. So it's quite amazing. Of course, they're only doing weekend events. I think I don't know if they're doing Thursday, definitely Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There may be some Thursdays thrown in. I don't know. But yeah, they have all these different events. Beginning of the year, they did a winter fest, or no, winter something. So maybe winter celebration. I don't know what it was. Something winter based. It was a very short one, like only 2 weekends long. And it was okay. I mean, they got like some local animals. So I guess, Joanna, you'd like that because they have animals there. So it's kind of like they food booths, but they were animals instead of food. Like before those animals become food, like it's the preface
So
for the next event.
You get to pet them and then eat whatever it is.
The
you're
next
petting.
event. Yeah. So Winterfest, you see them like, oh, look, I'm going to enjoy eating you later. And then the next event, you actually consume them. Yeah, it's wonderful. And actually, that's what happened because the next event was the Mardi Gras. And yeah, they had the food booths and man, super good event. I can't say enough about that event. It was definitely the best event they've done post-COVID. They've opened the park since, when was that, Joanna? What do you think? What was the first event they did?
It
Was it
was,
in the
I think it was
summer?
June. I want to say it was
Was it
towards the
that
end
early?
of June.
Sometime in the summer, they started doing these special events. And initially, they were very plain. Well, they weren't prepared for it, right? I mean, it's like we had to throw something together because Virginia, unfortunately, the governor was like, okay, you can only have 1,000 people in your park. Well, I mean, that's what 1/10 of what you can normally hold. So they couldn't possibly justify opening the entire park up because you'd lose money because there's no way you could staff everybody and then only have a very small amount of people. And so they did these special events where only pieces of the parks were open. So you'd have a couple of the hamlets open for one event, and then the next event they'd open a different pieces of the park. So you couldn't ride all the coasters on one given visit, but if you chain together their events, you could. I think they had every coaster open throughout the year. I'm almost positive.
So you have to go 6 times. You have to go 6 times to ride all 12 rides.
That's right. They're very wise. They're very wise. But basically, those events, they're really nothing special. They didn't really have any entertainment going on. They just kind of they had it there, and you could ride the rides and eat at some of the eateries. I know the early events. I mean, even to eat, they really had very limited menus and where you could eat. So, like when we went, being regulars, 2 hours in, we're like, okay, well, we really have nothing more to do here. Let's go home, because it's a 4-hour window, but it just had nothing to do. I mean, just you ran out of time. But this last event, the Mardi Gras event, like you can see in the video, they had a live band playing Mardi Gras music. They had people on stilts walking around. They had a show in the Festa house, which was a juggling comedy show, which is really well done. They had live music, band. They like guys drumming on on pots and pans and stuff. So it was just, and of course they had the food booth, so you could walk around. They had the sampler card, which you could buy and try all the different samples. It was almost like a real park event, like the closest they've gotten to a real park event, not a COVID event, but a real, like, this is a food festival type gathering. So this last one they did, fantastic. It's still going on. I think through February it happens. And then next month, of course, March, you have the St. Patrick's Day stuff. So I don't know what they're going to be doing as far as St. Patrick's Day. I'm assuming they're going to have a lot of beer, which sounds good. I don't know if there's going to be a food associated with it, if they're going to have like different booths set up doing other things. There's no details yet. You can't even get the reservation. So another thing about this park is you have to have reservations, just like Disney. If you don't get a park reservation, you can't get in for that day. So they don't have them open yet for, well, as far as I know. I mean, maybe they open them up and I missed the tweet. It's possible. I doubt it, but I don't think it's open yet for St. Patty's Day. But you can be assured that once that is opened up, we will get them, and we will be there, because love walking through the park.
Tom, what's it like going in the middle of winter there? I mean, it looks freezing.
It's cold. Yeah, I can't deny it is cold. The Winter Fest, it was 42 degrees, and they had the coasters. They had 3 coasters open: Verbolten. I need to see. This is where I need Ian. Verbolten. What do they have open? Come on, Joanna. You were in those podcasts. Wow. Verbolten.
Yes.
No. Okay. The
Invader.
Invader
and
Verbolten in the invert.
Finnegan's Fire.
The
Yeti one.
Yeah. The
one in the Alps.
Alpengeist.
Yeah.
This is our home park, believe it or not.
This is our home park.
Yeah. I've only ridden these rides 9 million times, but yeah.
Tom, is that your favorite ride right there to the right, the Irish pub?
Yeah. Yeah, that will be very popular coming up next event, I'm sure. Oh, do we have does this video show? I don't even know. Does it show us inside the, I think it does, inside the
it does.
Oh yeah, we
the
see the whole show
on the stage.
Joanna, have you watched this yet?
I have.
Oh, okay. So you saw it up on stage. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
right?
I caught all up with you guys.
Yeah. So for this event, because it was, I think the high that day was 41, but we were there from 11 to 3. So it was like 38 degrees during this video. So you can see everyone's bundled up. So we went in here like, oh, this is pretty awesome. Plus it's warm. So that's wonderful. But none of the coasters were running. I think they said it had to be like 41 degrees to run the coasters. So they opened this up, I think, because quite literally there was not much else to do in the park because they didn't have the coasters open.
So is that a stage with just a bar now, or I'm trying to figure out what's going on?
Yeah, so
like
it's a
show.
Yeah, it's a show stage where they do like an Irish dance thing normally. So yeah, they have a bar and they have like a faux upstairs that you go up and down the steps. Yeah, Joanna, you've seen the show many more times than I have.
Yeah.
I'm not really into the river dancing thing as much as you guys are, but yeah, it's they have guys come out and they have tables and they dance on the tables and they it's kind
of a mini Raglan Road, sort of.
I've never been in Raglan Road, so I cannot say.
That is blasphemy,
That
Tom.
is blasphemy.
I know. You know.
You talk
Just
about
sit down.
your Irish every day, man, or what I would
I've
think
never-
is the dancing and the Guinness.
I've
Yes,
never
you
been.
must
Well,
go.
okay. First of all, even don't let the Guinness glass fool you. I am not a Guinness fan. Okay, anything dark and thick like that, I'm not into. But like at Epcot, the German pavilion, the food eater, I've never walked in there, not once. Never been inside there because we have Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. We have a Festive house. It'd be like kind of going to like. I'm sure it's better. I'd assume it's so. I don't know. I never walked in it, but I've seen it, done it. If I'm
I already
Epcot,
have food at home I don't eat. Why would I?
yeah.
They're sort of, they're sort of the same. I mean, it's been a while since I've been to Williamsburg, but I've been to Epcot, and they even have one of the. I mean, they have those things in most of the major cities. I've even been to the one in Vegas, and they're all kind of a couple blocks off the strip. Those kind of German festive houses. They're all very similar. And I think all they specialize is giant steins of beers, which I'm okay with. Don't get me wrong.
I'm
So,
down with that.
I actually have a question for you. So in your videos, when you show inside the Fest house, and like the previous one, it was animals. They had like animals on the stage, and then this one was like magic.
Yeah.
You guys are eating food, but you're not eating the German food that you would normally get in there. Like when I've gone in there, you can get, different sausages and other things. Did they not offer that?
Oh, it's offered. We just
You
don't.
just
That's not really. Yeah, I'd sooner get whatever it was I was eating. I got chili and
chili cheese.
Type of
I think
weird
you got like a
fries.
cheesesteak sandwich or something. I was just intrigued because I was wondering if they were serving it or not. Because
yeah, that's not my favorite type of food, which is another reason why in Epcot we never went. German food. My family's part German, and we used to always have the hot dogs and sauerkraut for New Year's Eve, and the kielbasa, and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, I don't need it. Yeah, it's like, okay, I'll eat it if it's there, but if I have options to eat something else, I'll eat something else.
Yeah, I like sauerkraut. I don't think I've ever made it.
Really?
Yeah.
You never thrown it in with some hot dogs? Never.
No, because it kind of ruins the hot dog and the sauerkraut at the same time somehow.
Oh no, man. No. What you
sauerkraut's
do,
good.
you put that on it, you put the chili, you put cheese, just load that hot dog up and so good. So good. Yeah.
See, I don't like the chili though. I got addicted to the Chicago when I was in Chicago and you eat the local hot dogs there. They're so good, but it's not sauerkraut and stuff. It's got tomatoes and onion and pickle and
tomatoes.
You try to put ketchup on those things, they throw you in jail in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was solely against ketchup on a hot dog for years. I was mustard and anything else. Then the one time I tried it, it's good. I'm sorry, it's good. It's the hot dog and a ketchup together. That's a win. You can't go wrong.
By the way, I do appreciate that you almost always show the prices on these food things because we watch a lot of vlogs and they'll zone in on the food and tell you how great it is, and it might be, but they never tell you what the price is.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I always wondered, like doing the podcast, talking about prices, like how much we pay for hotel or whatever. I always wonder if that's appropriate or not. And it's like, well, as far as planning, help other people plan, it's probably a good idea that they know, what I paid. And, the potential savings for like if I do like a go-kart or something. So I'm like, heck with it. I'm just gonna tell them because it's it's worth it, and I think it's beneficial in the long run.
You always share too if you buy like the card, so you can buy multiple things if it's worth it or what you should get out of these things for the food things.
Yeah, and on this day we bought it with the pass holder discount, and it was $44 plus tax, so it turned out to be 48 and change, almost $49. So on average, most of these samples were most of them were $5.50 to $7 for each sample. There were some $4 ones, but for the most part, most of these samples were between $5.50 and $7. So you can't beat it. As far as this event, it had a good now we've had samples in the past, right, Joanna? Their food and wine before, I think years past, where the sampler didn't really seem to benefit. Like it would basically you're breaking even almost.
Yeah, the sampler was just to make sure you ate enough, I think, half the time.
Yeah, so you bought the sampler just to so you'll eat more because
Yep. Then you were
have to go
committed
through
to
the
10
samples.
separate items to get because you already paid for them.
yeah.
Where this
So
one, it
it's-
seems like you got some more savings.
So Tom, when you shoot these videos, you're using a GoPro when you do it?
Yes.
And then
go ahead.
how much are you editing out? Because you kind of do walking tours in like you, and in some of these videos, like at Christmas, you do like 3 laps of the park in an hour. Like you're walking so fast. I don't even know how you're doing. You lap people, but like what's your like style with these when you're creating them?
When I go to the parks, I basically record as much as I can. I record almost constantly because I never know when something's going to happen or something interesting, just so I record because we're always talking and stuff. So there might be something interesting going on. So when I actually sit down to edit them out, if there's not something interesting on the screen that I feel like the viewer may want to see, either because it's special to the event or maybe like Christmas lights at Christmas, or if I'm not saying something, it's just, I don't know, it could be anything, just something stupid or just anything. If I'm not saying something that I feel like is worth somebody listening, I edit it out. So I'll cut out us walking large distances of time if nothing's really going on. But I try to give like these videos, I try to, like, if you watch this video, I would hope that you would get a good feel for what this event has to offer, and you can make an educated decision on whether or not you want to go or not. And that's really the reasoning for recording it and the way I actually edit it together and provide it, especially with these food ones. I like to try to go and get at least one offering for each. Oh, Joanna, these are the Snickers. Oh my God. Let me tell you, deep fried Snickers. If you have not had one, stop.
I've never had a deep fried Snicker.
Now that one you're seeing right
fried
there,
Oreos, but
that's
not
deep
Snickers.
fried. That's the deep fried Kit Kat, which, okay, Kit Kats are okay, but Snickers, oh my Lord, that was so good. Deep fried Snickers, you cannot beat it. Oh my Lord, so good. If you haven't had it, you must. And that's a Kit Kat too. And they got the generic deep fried Oreo, which everybody has, plus the beignets, which their beignets are always good. I think it's hard to screw up beignets, but very good.
Your Busch Gardens videos have gotten quite a few views this year, haven't they? In 2020, and then these.
Yeah, our Busch Gardens get more views than any of our Disney stuff. So yeah, I think we have a lot of followers who are located in our area, and they enjoy our Busch Gardens content. So it works out. Yeah.
And then another popular video, I know your last podcast, you were kind of doing your 2020 and 2021, but your metrics, and you were sharing Hershey
Park in the Dark. And yeah, that's the one where I go off on a rant about their lack of social distancing and issues. And yeah, that's a whole series. Like that's like a story, right? You listen to that, then you got to listen to it because there's follow up in later podcast episodes where the rides and attractions guy sends me an email and he replies back to me, and so it's
and you got to go onto Twitter and find the entire Twitter fight with the customer service group.
Their Twitter account, I tell you what, they still drive me insane. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard from them lately, thank God. But yeah,
that's because they're shut.
They'll come back stronger than ever and just harass me, I'm sure.
Yeah, opening day at Hershey Park, they're going to start tweeting you.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, why don't you come back? We have social distancing in place.
There's that guy that shot that YouTube video that was too negative. Wait a second. Yeah. Shake him down.
So do you think Busch Gardens in the future will open again in the winter? Do you think this is successful enough for them based on what you're seeing?
I certainly hope so. I think their numbers, I don't think they're getting the numbers that they would hope. Like this for the Saturday event, like I said, there was 11 to 3 and then like a 5 to 9. So they had two different events where you have to make two sets of reservations. They have since changed that to one event on Saturdays, 12 to 6. So they made it into just one 6-hour event. Now, if they were filling up these reservations, they would have never done that. So I think that they're getting less people. However, these events are still going, and like this food one, they're making good money. Even with the limited number of people, everyone's going around eating and drinking and having a good time. So, I mean, they're making it on food because, the markup on food is really high. So, and the margins on, tap beer, I mean, not the way they pour it, but normally are really high too. So yeah, I think they're making money, and if they can figure out a way to do this in non-COVID, which I mean, same thing, right? It's the same thing. I think they will. I mean,
is this a separate ticketed event, or did you get in with your pass?
No, your pass will let you into this event. Yes, and they've lowered the prices. Back when they like last summer and through the fall, you can see how empty it is. I mean, there's like no one around. I think it was like close to $45 or $50 a ticket. I think this event you could buy a ticket for $30 or 25 or 30. So they've lowered the price to buy to actually get into it. Plus, anybody's season pass will let you in. Now you can see, look, the people are playing this game. This is the game, by the way, right there that both Joanna and I have won. We won't count how many times we've won it, but we've got a lot of stuff.
The ring on the milk jug thing. You guys have won that several times.
You get the ring. Yeah,
ring,
I've won it a couple times.
Wow.
I won it.
Tom doesn't want to mention it. He got it once on a fluke. I repeated to show him it wasn't one.
I won that damn thing. We were on our way. So we live in Richmond, Virginia. We drove down to Busch Gardens, and we were on our way to Virginia Beach for like the weekend or something. And I won it on our way to Virginia Beach, and my wife was ready to be a fit because that's this huge teddy bear.
Huge. Oh, they're enormous.
Enormous bear. She's like, what the hell are we going to do with this?
When it took the entire seat of our back car and Amy had to drive home in the hatch.
But I tell you what.
No, that's when you find a small child that's exiting that maybe didn't win anything and conveniently ask their parents. It's like, hey, don't go home empty-handed. It's a giant bear.
I tell you what, though, you want to be a superstar? Walk around the park with one of those bears. I had at least two different groups of people. They're kids. Like, oh, you won that, mister? How did you win? Like, that's right.
Oh my God. Yeah, because Amy had her giant bear and all the little, because she was, I think, like 12, 11 at the time. And she was not very big, but all the little girls, she was just queen of the park.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to cut it open and like be able to hide inside it, because you see those videos.
Yeah, you pull all the stuffing out.
What drink is this going on here, Tom?
That is a Blue Hurricane. It's just some pre-mixed, some type of liqueur blue. It was sweet. Had the kids got to eat the pineapple and cherry, but yeah, it was okay. And that's a souvenir. Well, it's plastic, so it's a plastic mason cup that says Busch Gardens on it. I have it somewhere.
Here's the show you mentioned. I was impressed they had a show in here.
Yeah.
I was impressed with the number of performers they have because I think you said this is the first time for Busch Gardens for Mardi Gras.
No. I think they've had the Mardi Gras event in the past, or at least some type of event similar.
It seemed like they had quite a bit of entertainment and quite a bit of performers walking around, which I don't always expect at a theme park.
You would video like somebody's playing instruments or whatever. You just keep walking right up, from drums or music and singing, and you're like, you go right on by it. It's really fun.
Yeah. So this show, like I literally recorded every second of the show, and then I just cut it into like the important like pieces because there's a lot of them talking in between that I didn't like filler that I didn't think that people would want to watch. Like this guy's up here doing some weird knife stuff for a while before he does this part. So, or no, is that knife? No, those are plates. I don't know.
And boy, did they remove a lot because those tables are huge and long in there. So they definitely
these are supposed to be like the family style. Like I know at Epcot they do the same thing where they're just long and everybody kind of eats next to each other. But yeah, they do it this way now. And like I said in the video, like this is a comedy show, so they'll tell a joke, and this venue is huge. So like the people are laughing, but you really can't hear the laughing. It's almost like they're like doing a deadpan, like no one gets it. But it's just that there's so many. Like, there's only like 1/3 capacity of what you'd normally have in this theater or this house, Festive house, that you can't really make out that it's people are having a good time because everyone's so spaced out, and one laugh just gets lost in all that air. So yeah, good show though. Fun. I was impressed with the amount of entertainment they actually provided. But this event, like I said, is going, I don't know, it's probably like running for like 6 weekends. So I mean, there is a good amount of time, and I'm hoping they just throw these guys with some green hats on for the next event.
For con juggling act.
Shamrock necklaces.
Yeah. Shamrock necklaces. Yeah. Yeah, they're doing all kinds of weird stuff.
Tom and Joanna, do you think Busch Gardens is, you alluded to it earlier, but you think they're actually making enough money to have this event profitable to them?
100%. They wouldn't keep having these events if they weren't making money. Did you guys see the Disney earnings call where their parks lost a ton of money, but every open park they said was profitable. So yeah, these parks, they're not having all these events if it's not profitable.
And especially these food events, like Tom said, I mean, the markups, and it's just a premium day of trying
money.
foods and drinking beer and spending money. And
yeah,
honestly, the last time we went to the food line, I don't even know if we rode any rides that day.
Yeah, no, you just walk around and you pay more money. Like you don't need rides. Yeah. And they don't have many open. Like this day we're in the park, they had a couple kiddie rides, they had the train, and that was all the rides that's all the rides they had open. So everything else, everyone was just eating and watching entertainment. Yeah.
You brought up a good point though, Tom, because I've been listening to the Six Flags investor calls, and their CFO said on the last one in January that he basically said, they asked him, are the parks profitable right now? He's like, every single park that was open is cash flow positive. Therefore, by definition, the ones that are open are cash flow positive. So that's 16 out of the 16 were open, 9 that were closed. So to your point, they wouldn't be open if they weren't making money.
And Six Flags, they're really thinking outside the box by just putting like the Hot Wheel or like the monster truck stuff. They're getting these other groups to bring their stuff in and set it up, and just charging a car load and letting you drive through and stuff. Yeah, so they're really doing some innovative stuff that will be interesting to see post-COVID if they try to continue that.
Yeah, that's kind of my question here. Post-COVID, if they're going to bother to be open during the wintertime. And our wintertime is a lot more mild than you all's wintertime. And our park is not open except for right now the Hot Wheels drive-through, but you can't ride a ride. You can't drive through part of the back part of the park.
You better not get out of your car.
Yes.
Do not get out of the car. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be well served to take this model of like just have food booths, and you don't have to open the rides. People are hungry to do stuff. Like they want to go out, and even if you can't ride the rides in like Busch Gardens or Six Flags, if you just walk in the park, enjoy some food, enjoy some beverages, hang out with your family, friends, that's all people want at this point. So just provide it. It's like a mall food court, right? It's just open it up and let your pass holders come in. Yeah, you're probably not going to make much money on the day tickets, but you're going to make money through the food and beverages and whatever else you got going on through games or whatever else. I mean, Six Flags certainly has midway games and that kind of stuff. So
if only there were a video of what we wanted to see in 2021 at Six Flags.
As if that's coming out tomorrow.
Nice. Nice.
Nice segue. Stay tuned.
Oh boy. You gonna give us a little taste of what you want?
Taste. Yes. I've been doing some research and playing around here with some green screen technology. So
nice.
It's a different video than what we've done before. So it'll be on YouTube tomorrow morning. So hopefully people get value out of it. When I shoot the videos, you talked about yours earlier, Tom, but when we shoot the videos, I'm the same way. I'm like, when I get the rough video and I'm sitting there editing it, first thing I'm like, is this interesting and would I watch it? Because if the answer is no, that definitely cut out. And one of the reasons I did the Six Flags video for tomorrow is like, we've been enough. I need to be adding more value to people watching our Six Flags video. About anybody now with their phone can go and shoot videos in the park, but I'm like, I've been enough. I kind of know what we would like to see, and I have what I think is enough factual information from some of the investor calls I can mix in there with some of our opinions driven by the facts that we've seen in the park. So
and our kids' opinions too.
Yes,
they're huge.
Nice.
I mean, Six Flags, basically we started going because the kids wanted to go with their friends, and so we started getting. I mean, we'd been once or twice, but once they got to a certain age, they always want to go, and so you get the pass and you start going a lot and mass. And I mean, like 2 years ago, I don't know how many times she went, 10 times between us and friends and all sorts of stuff. Like she'd go every weekend if she could. So it definitely helps have that perspective with it.
Yeah, this was for this video. This was the first time the two younger kids have gone. Like have they gone to any? I don't know if they've gone to any COVID, like post during
No, they
COVID
haven't been having
events.
them.
Yeah, I don't know if they did. I think this is the
They
first
weren't in a
event
single
they've
one of your
gone.
videos. It's just you and Ian.
Yeah, they haven't gone. They're not as big as, you know.
They don't like the parks. That's why Tom won't
Well, I
let
mean-
Ian go.
they've been to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg so many times that it's like they love the Halloween and Christmas event.
Mhm.
And once we went and we told them, it's not really what you want, they're like, we aren't going. And plus, when we usually go and they go, we usually have free tickets that they take friends. So we can't do that now. So that's another reason why they're like, no. So yeah. So anyway, back to Six Flags over Georgia. They didn't have a 2020 new attraction, did they?
They had Gotham City. Was that?
Yeah,
they
they
had-
opened. So they redid their Gotham City, and then they put in a new Catwoman whip ride, which is a very unique.
Kind of like
ride.
a Ferris wheel, but it starts out horizontal and goes vertical, which
Oh, ooh.
I'm still to get on that.
So
It's
Yeah.
been down a couple
this
times.
is like a tale, like for us in Epcot and Test Track, where Dave and Madison have gotten in the line several times and not been able to ride or show up, and the thing's not working. Like we're talking, we went 4 or 5 times and they never
Wow.
got on it. Like the 2 times they were in line and then it shuts, and so it's a story of at some point they'll get on Catwoman whip. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So they don't have anything that they postponed for this season. So nothing new this
Well-
season as far as new attraction.
so they do have a roller coaster called the Mind Bender, which is in the Gotham City area, and they were redoing all of the tracks. So
Oh.
on the outside of the park, when you walk up, we kind of told you can see some of the track and all of that, and it was dismantled in certain areas. They repainted it and they kind of put it together. I'm assuming it's smoother. I don't know if they did a new car with it. I don't know, but I'm assuming that they're going to put it up hopefully this year. It looked like when we did Hot Wheels that it was connected and everything, so maybe it'll be ready to go when the park opens, which is just in like 2-3 weekends. It's the beginning of
Oh.
March when it opens.
Nice.
Yeah, so Six Flags are open, I think March 6th, if that's a Saturday, and then Dollywood will open the weekend after that. So
Yeah.
we don't have to wait too long here in the Southeast for 2 of our major regional parks to open. I know some of the Cedar Fair stuff's not open until May-ish or Memorial
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah. King's Dominion isn't until late or mid-May, and I think a lot of the Cedar Fair parks aren't open until May. Yeah, they definitely took a different business model as far as how to handle the COVID stuff, because a lot of them didn't open or open very briefly and then shut back down, and they're not trying to take advantage of anything. So it's very interesting.
So speaking of new rides, what do you all know about the Pantheon? I
Pantheon.
mentioned that earlier before we started the stream, but I saw some things on
Yes.
the Busch Gardens. That looks like it's going to be pretty awesome. I don't know a lot about it, but maybe you all do.
Well, it's going to be, it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a really good time. What?
I just hope it works.
Well, yeah, with all the switching and going back.
They do all these weird track switch. I mean,
I think it will.
They're so. Busch Gardens is so into gimmicks. Just build just a good coaster.
Well, I mean, this thing's going to be pretty intense. So I'm excited about this one. Definitely more so than the kind of sister coaster they're building down at SeaWorld Orlando, which is kind of the same thing, but not nearly as big or fast.
Icebreaker.
It's the
Icebreaker.
actual model for Pantheon that they built. It's like, oh, hey, we can put this in a park too.
The actual model, yeah.
So is the roller coaster kind of like a boomerang? You go up, you go
God,
back.
no. Oh, don't ever say that word, boomerang. Ugh. I hate those coasters. No, there is you do stop, or no, how's it go? Boy, it's been a while since I've seen the POV. You're going normal, you stop, the track switches, it launches you backwards, then you go forward, and it launches you, and then you keep going or something to that effect. So yeah, you don't do the length of track backwards. There's only a small section where you go backwards, and I believe it's a straight shot. So for me, that is good, because if I start turning backwards, that's where it's no good. Yeah. So that's why I think this coaster is going to be, it's going to be super fun. It's going to be so good. I have no idea. They were always touting that it would come out in spring of 2021. And now the new stuff that they're releasing all says 2021. They lost the spring. So what does that mean? I don't know. Maybe they're waiting to release it or to open it until, more
Might
people
be
have
good
the
for full park
vaccine.
occupancy.
Yeah, there's more vaccinated people, I guess. I don't know. But Virginia, unfortunately, is one of the worst states as far as giving out that vaccine. So God knows how we're gonna what we're gonna do.
I just got mine Monday.
Hey, there you go.
I got jab
wow.
number 1 Monday. So
Nice.
So this thing's going to have 4 launches, 2 inversions, 5 hills.
And a partridge in a pear tree. Like, well, there's a Christmas will sit here. Wow.
Yeah,
95
it's got some record too, right? It's gonna be the fastest launch or something. Something.
see, and I love that it's at 95-degree drop, which is my biggest pet peeve of all.
I know you
Yes.
hate that. You hate that.
It's an 85-degree drop because you can't get above a 90-degree fall.
Yeah. You're being you're countering your falling, right? Yeah.
I never thought about that. I just always, when you see it and they go beyond,
Yeah. Well, I think the
Yeah.
gimmick is that you're going to fall out, right? It's not
Yes.
because you're going to go any faster, because that's not the case, right? Oh, there you go. There's the layout. So yeah, you got that little spike where you go up, and then you got some turns, and you got that high.
look,
Yeah.
they name each section between Neptune, Mercury, Jupiter, Pluto.
Yeah, I will see it's all done. I don't know. I don't know if the track is different colors like that or not. I don't think it is, but it could be. I've always meant to ride the train and see it during the day. I only saw it one time on the train at night, and every event since that, every event since a Christmas event, I'm like, okay, we're gonna ride the train during the day. And we're gonna get some good photo or get some video of Pantheon. It has not happened yet.
So Busch Gardens, Williamsburg's getting a new coaster. SeaWorld, Orlando's getting a new coaster. Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay is getting a new coaster, which probably really should have opened this past year. But wow.
That's the coaster I actually bought the Busch Gardens passes for.
Yep, you have to rebuy them now. Because Iron Gwazi, you can't not do Iron
How do you
Gwazi.
not get the RMC, right?
And it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be awful, but you gotta do it.
No, it only hurts because you're like super tall.
I know, because I'm over 5'4". Yeah, I know.
No, hey, I'm over 5'4" and I'm just the right height.
You're over 5'4". Not in
Yes,
heels.
you're not-
You're barefoot. You're over 5'4".
Yes,
Right.
I'm telling you, you're not that much taller.
Sure. Yeah, I'm 6'1", and those RMC restraints. Well, you guys have the RMC at Six Flags over Georgia. Dave, how tall are you?
6'2".
Okay.
Still, I think.
That those don't hurt you? Like when you get locked in and like you do the negative G's where you're floating out, that floater doesn't just dig into your legs or your
Have that?
No, Goliath actually supports at the waist, and Georgia Scorchers is stand up.
what's the one they redid? That they did
Twisted Cyclone.
Yeah, that one. Yes.
Yes. It's a bit tight, more so around my girth than the tallness of it.
But like when you get the negative, you don't like your legs they don't just awful pain shoot
sometimes
through.
my knees hit the bar, if that's what you mean, but
awful.
Six Flags has done that job, got the makeover. That roller coaster is a classic small wooden roller coaster, and I got the RMC. I think it's the RMC makeover. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It got the makeover it needed when it went to the steel track and kept the wood, because before that it was so rough. It was so rough.
So at Christmas time, when we did their holiday in the park, Dave wrote it. And like the back part of the track was not lit. So you go, it's like lit. And then he just went into the darkness. And then eventually a couple minutes later came back out of the dark. They didn't have any lights on in the back. Like you couldn't see it. And it was like, oh my God. I said, what if I fell out of the car? Nobody would know.
That's not sweet. You got to be able to see those negative G's or you're going to die.
Well, that one doesn't go upside.
That was the Great American Scream Machine.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Wrong one.
That's the one that's sort of like the Beast, sort of, not quite as good, but literally they had no lights on the back part of it, so it was like pretty eerie. And I'm in the front car. There's maybe 2 other people in the whole train cars with me, and it was it was a good ride as usual, but it was pretty
Yeah.
eerie back there with no lights on.
Now, Chris, I don't know if you know this or not, but Kings Island, that used to be Dave's old home park. You know that?
He's trying to get us back there, so we'll see.
You have to go back.
If we
Oh,
go
the
this summer.
beast.
And we're looking at Holiday World too.
Maybe
Yes,
Holiday World.
we're planning that trip.
Yeah, in Santa Claus, Indiana.
We've been to Santa Claus, but
It was shut.
It was Thanksgiving. And Holiday World was shut.
And I think we share with you, Lincoln's boyhood home is also in the same area. Very cool. So it's like they have the outline of it. You know, one of the 10 places Lincoln lived that they claim, but it's very cool.
Is there a dark ride or roller coaster on it? Or
No.
Why would I want to go to that?
It was neat. We like that.
You get to tour the set of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh, that actually was a good movie.
It was a great movie, right? Oh my God, it was so good.
Yeah, that was much better than I would have ever anticipated. Yeah, did you hear our last? Did you hear our last podcast where Ian was talking about the Kentucky Kingdom deal? Yeah, so because that's not far away from Holiday World either, and Kings Island. That whole general area.
Today, I saw listed that there's a rumor that Hirschfield Family Entertainment that runs Dollywood and Wild Adventure, and that they are purchasing or have purchased potentially Kentucky Kingdom.
Really?
It's like a rumor, right? Yeah, I saw it today. I don't know. Yeah. Hot off the press, off of the Twitterverse. I read that. I was telling Dave that. I thought that was.
They typically don't like combine. Like you can't really have a ticket to get into.
They don't do that.
Yeah,
so they have Silver Dollar City. Dave was reading all the stuff they run. They run like the Dolly Stampede, and they run some.
They have
shows.
Stone Mountain here. They have Wild Adventure and Valdosta.
They run Dollywood's hotel and cabins in Dollywood, which I thought was. We didn't realize that, and there was something else that they. Oh, so they have some aquariums or something too. It was kind of interesting. We were reading about them just a little while ago. So,
well, that's interesting. Yeah,
that's rumor, though, correct?
I know. Yes, it's a rumor. I don't.
Rumor, speculation.
It was weird because you guys had mentioned the park, and then I'd read something today, and I was like, "That's because you don't see Hershen family, however they're called. You don't see it listed anywhere." Somebody had wrote their info, so
that'll be very interesting to see.
It probably won't change. I mean, probably be the same stuff.
Let's see here. Tom and Joanna, what's coming up on the channel we should look forward to on the podcast?
Oof. Well, I mean, the YouTube there's just so much more Disney stuff. If you like Disney, by all means, subscribe because there is going to be a ton more. If you don't, well, you may want to take a break from our channel for a little bit.
No, Tom, that's what you never say.
Okay, cut that out. Oh, damn it, we're live. Heck with this live nonsense.
You never say that.
So, well, obviously, we got the big Disney podcast episode that's going to be released. I'm hoping I can get it edited and out by this weekend. I'm not sure. We got Epcot's like part 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 probably coming at some point. Like I literally have 2 more hours of Epcot video, unedited video after releasing the part 1 of the Epcot where we did the rides. So a lot of me eating and drinking around Epcot and checking out the different countries. So I don't know how much is actually usable or not, but what else we got going on? I mean, I don't know. I mean, as far as a podcast, it's our podcast. Like we don't plan, we don't plan any of our episodes. Like our podcast isn't released like every week or every 2 weeks or every month. It's just, well, every month we release episodes, but it's just, if we have something to talk about and we're available, we record it and we put it out. A large part, it's based on what we're doing as far as our vacations for the year. A lot of Busch Gardens talk, obviously, because we go to Busch Gardens, or we'll just do like silly, fun episodes where we get together and we'll do like from the queue, like that. At those episodes, for example, are like we'll take a topic and say, hey, we're going to draft, the SeaWorld Entertainment parks. We each take turns picking the rides that we'd want in our park or whatever. Just like fun stuff like that. And I know we talked to you guys before about coming on and doing Disney World versus Disneyland ride comparisons. I think that would be an absolute blast. Or we could do like a draft of different Disney attractions. You know, there's just so much you can just get together and just talk and have a good time. And that's really all. That's the only reason we do it, is that we can just talk and have a good time. And if we didn't enjoy it, we wouldn't do it. And man, so as far as what we have coming out, we like I said, we already recorded all the Disney stuff. So all I have to do is edit it together and get it out. I don't really have a plan moving forward other than, well, the Busch Gardens. We'll do an episode for Busch Gardens, St. Patrick's Day.
And then we're going to get some Baltimore B-roll here.
Oh,
All
your
right.
Baltimore. Yeah. So her Baltimore trip. I don't know if that will be a full episode or, yeah, I guess it's all.
I'm not sure what we're going to be able to figure out what we can do yet. So
Exactly.
we don't even know
That's
what's
the key,
open
right?
or what's available. Just
yeah.
a video of me getting drunk at the National Harbor.
Oh, hey, I tell you, that would be so bad. That's fun.
Just don't get drunk and then walk into the casino there, Joanna. So one of my questions I had for you, Tom, is since you do YouTube and the podcast, do you see synergies between the two, or is it just two different pieces of content that's a ton of work because you're doing two different pieces of content?
Yeah, no, I don't really see much synergy between the two. I mean, I try to keep them closely knit, and I hope the one will relate to the other, but I don't know if it is or not. I don't know. I don't like, the YouTube audience is such a different audience than the podcast audience. Like, just because you watch our YouTube doesn't mean you have time or care to listen to us, our audio, you know, especially nowadays when people aren't commuting as much, you know. So, you know, I used to always, like, most of my podcast time, I used to listen was during my commute, and I don't commute anymore. So now, luckily for me, I walk a heck of a lot, and I do that. That's when I listen now. So yeah, I don't know if podcasting is going to be a continued, it's hard to get into podcasting. Like, to grow an audience in podcasting is very difficult. And I don't really try to, like, I don't go out of my way to do so, which is, I guess, my own fault. Like, even the YouTube, I've never really gone out of the way to, I mean, I'll put stuff out and I'll just let it naturally grow. And both could probably be much larger at this point if I actively took an active role into doing that. But like you said, I do YouTube, I do the podcast, I did the movie podcast for years. Joanna, Paul, and I did that. I had another podcast I did, which was I don't really talk about because it's kind of off color, and it's a comedy one that I don't really discuss, which I don't really do that anymore either. So I'm kind of at this point where I'm down to the YouTube and the Vacationeers podcast. Now, I did want to do another type of podcast with Joanna and Paul again, beginning of 2021. And yeah, I just haven't gotten to it yet. But yeah, I think being a jack of all and master none, it's probably hurting me. But and like board games, I love playing board games. So, you know, it's like, well, you know, I got a whole idea. I built out a whole podcast or a whole YouTube series for playing board games, and I've never actually pulled the trigger on that. So I think, I don't know, at some point I just like, okay, I'm going to focus on this and do this only and see how that works. But I mean, with that being said, I think when I say this only, I mean Vacationeers, because Vacationeers is what I truly love. You know, I vacations and family and family, you know, Joanna and Ian. I love that. So I'll never not do that, whether it be the YouTube or the podcast. I think I'd continue, like I say, because like collectively, we don't do it to, yes, it would be nice to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and be able to monetize it. That'd be great. But you can tell from if you go to my channel, you see all my copyright hits through all my material. Cause I'm walking through a park and, something's playing. I don't take it out. I'm like, cause it doesn't hurt you. Cause they're like, well, okay, if you monetize this, some money's going to go to the copyright claimant. I'm like, well, that's fine. I'm not monetizing. And I'd rather have a more true experience in the park for the viewer than for me to edit it out or overlap it with something else. Now, of course, I say that now. Once I hit 1,000, I start monetizing. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting that out of there.
Oh yeah, that's coming out. I'm trimming that out.
Yeah,
Wow.
I talk real big now. Yeah, with 200 subscribers. But but for the most part, I love the Vacationeers, and I will do that for the foreseeable future. I just love doing it. So.
Well, I love listening, so I was
Yes.
excited when you guys put out your last podcast. So I listened. Always tell you when the door listens, you know who it is. Atlanta.
Chris is my Vacationeers notification bell.
I check all the time. You guys put one out, and so I think I had even written you because it's like, did you do a Disney one? Because I was waiting for your recap.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I kept waiting. I was like, he's going to put one out. That'll be really interesting. So
I keep telling Chris we all have other full-time jobs. So.
Yeah, it's been a rough year so far. So hopefully it turns around for me. But yeah, I got challenges going on. So Vacationeers is definitely a bright side in my life. So I'm trying to embrace that and focus on that more. So you're going to see a bunch more content coming down for 2021. Even if we don't get to go every place that we want to go, we'll find new ones. So like 2020, we had a ton of plans, ton of big dreams, and it's none of those really worked out, or most of them didn't. But if you look back at what we did do instead, that's still pretty good time. We went to Universal, we went to Disney. I mean, you can't complain, especially during a pandemic. So, and I forgot, in 2 weeks, beginning of March, speaking of more content coming, I am going out to Vegas. My buddy and I, Chris, who you saw in the video, he's my Hilton connection. We're going out to Vegas, and it's because of that stupid Win Casino app. I played the heck out of that damn thing. Oh my Lord. How long, Joanna? How long did I play that thing?
God.
Is it a year?
It was like the center of your life for an entire year. I mean, every time you sat down with Tom, he would sit there and literally, because he had to log into his phone every 20 minutes or he would lose all his points.
You had to earn points. So I got 4 nights to Win Casino, and hell or high water, I'm going. So my buddy, right now, it's funny. I originally booked it for my wife and I, and we have a king bed. And if I go onto the app and try to change it to 2 queens or 2 whatever, they're gonna take a bunch of my points away, and I know it's just not gonna work out. So we're waiting till we get there, and I'm hoping the Win will switch our room. But if not, we're snuggling.
You had that trip scheduled. Was it in the summer you were going to go? When were you going to go originally?
Last
spring?
It was last spring, because I think the Lady Gaga.
You had the Lady Gaga tickets, right?
Which I'm kind of glad that kind of fell through, because I think those were over $1,000 for those tickets alone, just for those concert tickets. Yeah, so we got full refund on that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good.
Oh my God, was she in that king bed? Holy cow!
Well, that wouldn't be too bad, I tell you. I'm not sure my wife would approve, but yeah. So in 2 weeks we're going for a 4-day weekend out there, and probably do some touristy stuff. I've never been, so it's going to be exciting. The weird thing is he's flying out of Virginia Beach. I'm flying out of Richmond. So we're flying separate flights. So it's going to be strange going.
You're sharing a bed, but separate flights.
Exactly. Yeah.
We've been dabbling with some of the Vegas YouTubers. They're a lot like the Disney YouTubers. There's a lot of them. They cover a lot of the major things, and some focus on food. Others just kind of do walkabouts up and down the strip in 4K. And
very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Different people have stayed at the different hotels, and they're showing them to you since they've been reopened, because the rates are so cheap, and so they're going in, relatively cheap. So I've been watching several of them. I could rattle them off now. I'd give them free publicity.
Yeah, the new coaster at New York opened back up with new trains or something. So I'm going to check that out. Or not the new coaster, the coaster.
Now I have done that once.
Yeah. Oh, I heard it was pretty awful back in the day. Oh, you guys.
It's an underrated coaster. You think, it's just a coaster, goes through the building. How bad could it be? But it's underrated. It's fast, and I think it has 2 loops, and it's underrated. It's a pretty good coaster, especially considering it's just right there in
the
Vegas.
hotel.
Yeah.
I'm not brave enough to get on the Stratosphere rides, but I have done the Circus Circus. Chris and I did it. We got engaged out there a while ago, and then I did it
nice.
another time on a business trip.
No, I heard Circus Circus is pretty, I don't know, ghetto. It's not very nice. It's pretty run down. Is that? Well, as far as the park, the amusement park section of it.
Oh yeah,
It's not. I don't think the amusement park area is open.
It's not open now. Chris and I actually, last time we were there, we stayed at the one, but we gambled at Circus Circus because Circus Circus was pretty close. And we went over to the amusement area. It was kind of under the dome. Yeah. And there's more in there, the bigger area than what you thought.
They had like a little wild mouse in there, and there was like other things going on. It was all, you look at the cost. We didn't do them just because it was $30 for this thing, $20 for that. But there was a lot. But I think that little area is shut right now.
Okay.
Supposedly, Circus Circus has a very good steak restaurant. Supposedly, seriously, who would think? But they supposedly have a very good one. But yeah, it's a little. It's older. It's not like the Wynn inside of there.
Yeah, no. And I just saw today that Meow Wolf is opening up a Mega Mart, which is some type of immersive art experience. I actually
saw something today about it, and it's something with food, right?
Explore an extraordinary supermarket and discover portals leading to surreal worlds full of.
I was trying to watch it. I didn't understand. So why don't you do
no
a
idea
video?
What it is. Yeah, I may have to go. Yes, it's opening like mid this month, so we'll be open, and the tickets are like $45 for a ticket. The interesting thing is, I don't know what it is. I guess it's an art, but it's like weird art exhibit. I don't know.
Take a hit for all of us. You need to buy a ticket and do it.
There we go. I think
I'll be happy to give it a thumbs up and watch the whole thing too.
I may have to do it.
There's so much to do out there, like events. There's like an Avengers thing, and there's like a mob museum. It's like there's stuff in like the Fremont area, and then there's stuff on the Strip and each of the hotel. I don't know what's open of some of the stuff that's in each hotel, but like you could just spend days going through each of the hotels and seeing the things that they do and have. And of course, the shows really aren't open right now, but there's so many shows.
Yeah. When we were going to go in last spring, we had the Michael Jackson show booked. Yeah, we did Lady Gaga. I think we had a couple other. We had some other Cirque show that was But that's fine. Yeah, this is gonna be a different trip with him because we both play poker, so we'll be playing some poker and doing some touristy stuff. So for the YouTube channel, so. Yeah, it ought to be fun. It will definitely be weird flying out there and back by myself. Like I said, I am not an alone person in general. I'd rather be around people, even though I'm not also very sociable either. I like to be around people I know, not strangers, I guess. So yeah, me flying out there by myself, especially, I think like my flight out is so weird because I'm flying due north to DC for like 45 minutes. Then it's like 5.5 hours on a plane to Vegas. So it's just awful. It's like, it's the worst route you could possibly get. On the way back isn't bad because it's going Vegas to Chicago and then Chicago to Richmond. So it's breaking the flight up like 2 hours or 3 hours and 2 hours. Whereas opposed that on the way out, it's like north, then west. Like, yeah, it's like the whole flight is like one flight is the entire trip across to Vegas. So yeah, it's gonna be awful.
What are you flying?
United.
Because I know Delta's still keeping the middle seats open. That's their big claim to fame right now. The only airline, I think.
Yeah, no, this United, we booked this. I booked these flights. I don't know. I'm not remember when, but for two tickets, I had to cancel the one, and my wife's actually going to use that credit to go to Puerto Rico later this year. But both tickets out the door was under $400. It was like $3 something. That's taxes, everything. Just yeah, so that's cheap as man. I think each ticket was like 100 and something round trip.
That's very good.
Yeah, that's really yeah.
I think Vegas subsidizes it, so you have some fresh cash when you get there.
Oh yeah, they know they're going to get it. The airline doesn't get it. It's more for them once you get on the ground.
You can't be showing up broke.
Yeah. So, if you want to see what I'm doing out in Vegas, I'm not sure how I'm going to, I'm going to like amusement park. I tweet what we're doing.
Mhm.
I'm probably not going to think Vegas.
We should try to tweet each hand.
Each
until
hand,
they
yeah.
come and stop you.
Just
Ace King.
yeah.
I think they might frown upon cameras in the casinos, from what I've heard. But
Yeah, they probably won't want me to record everything, but it ought to be fun. Like I said, I've never been out there, so it'll be a new experience, and it'll be a good time. And I'll have something on the YouTube for sure, and definitely I'll discuss it on the podcast.
cool. Well, we look forward to more content on the Vacationeers theme parks and more YouTube channel and the podcast.
And especially for more
great.
Joanna films, I can't wait to see that.
Oh my lord!
I
You
don't
know,
know if any of them have ever made it out. It's bad.
I will release it no matter what. I'll call it like abstract art or something. It's like this weird, like, what is going on here? That's right.
I even bought a copy of the video editing software and everything, and just never.
Oh, that would even
Never
be
got
better.
off the
You know what?
ground.
You're right. You do have it. So
No,
I don't have to do it for
don't.
you.
I don't. My subscription ended.
How? What do you buy a week? You only did that a little bit
It
ago.
was a year. It was more
You
than
had-
a year.
That was over a year ago. That you bought that?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. I can't believe that.
You can tell
I
you
swear
guys,
to God, it was a couple months. Tops.
Pretty sure related.
yes.
Jeez, that's ridiculous. Wow. Okay.
That's
That-
2020. It was the longest and the shortest year at the same time.
I guess I'll just edit it for you. It's gonna be awful though. Yeah, it will be awful. It'll be 100% awful.
All right. Chris, you want to mention what we have coming up on our channel or what we've recently published on our YouTube channel, Adventures by D?
Well, we just released Willy's Wonderland video. We were talking
Yes.
we started, and we took the $20 hit on Amazon and did the download, and then went to the outdoor filming location of it. It's actually a fun little video of Nicolas Cage, and Dave does his Nicolas Cage
A bad
impersonation
Andy- a
of
bad-
Andy Samberg from
Oh, nice.
SNL during Nicolas Cage. It's kind of funny. So he
Yeah, I
always
like throughout the video you just have shots of Nicolas Cage staring at
yeah.
you.
I took pictures with my phone while we were watching the video, so it's like still of the video from the TV, and I very low quality, but it actually kind of works. So, and we're gonna do some other filming locations. So I don't know if you guys know, Georgia is a huge filming.
It's the Hollywood of the South, Chris.
It is. It actually recently was one of the most popular filming locations. There were huge tax incentives, and I think
Yep.
they've actually some recently. But
Yeah,
the
there's a
walking-
made in Georgia logo at the end of everything.
yeah,
Yes.
the Georgia film. So the
And a lot
walking
of it's Atlanta, right? I mean, most of it is shot near Atlanta. So you
It-
guys are in the
it
heart of it.
Have you watched on Netflix Ozarks? The Ozarks.
Mhm.
Well, that's
Yeah,
Bateman.
love that.
That's filmed around, and actually some of it's been filmed around our house. Like you see the filming.
Holy
of, when you
Nice.
Dave's in the background.
you see filming signs of like codes, and it's like a yellow sign on a stick with black letters and an orange cone. And it's usually a 3-letter code, and you look up. There's like a Twitter site I go to, and like they'll try to tell you. People try to decode because its letters have nothing to do with what's being filmed. But like Dolly Parton's Coat of Many Colors and stuff she released on Netflix last year, like she has a whole thing. It was filmed down the road from here too. But they take them to like churches, and then they like take them in buses someplace else. So you can't ever really figure out the location. Like you kind of know where the landing point is, but maybe not the full location. But then we
Yeah,
look
that's
online. But we have a few that we're going to do that like I'm a huge Walking Dead fan. I'm huge. And so
Yeah.
we've done 4 tours for The Walking Dead. And so we're going to go to some of the areas and just kind of show everybody some and show some of our pictures that we have, because we've even done the studio tour for The Walking Dead AMC studio tour. So
Now, have you ever
They're
tried to
casting
become
for
zombie?
extras in Richmond.
Yeah, I could be an
Wow.
extra for it's not the regular Walking Dead. It's the Walking Dead something else.
the fear one? No, that's in Texas.
not Fear. It's
Another one. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what it is. I used to watch The Walking Dead, and I used to read the comic too, and man, so good. And then I kind of fell off, and I never got back. I always want to get back.
He's
But-
not as much of a fan anymore as
There's
I
a
am.
part in the show, I don't know if everybody's seen it, but there's a part that I didn't really. Negan came on, and there's a big episode, and didn't really like the storyline past that. So I thought the
man.
first 3 or 4 years were unbelievable
It's
TV, amazing. But then
I'm
when
telling
Negan came in the episode, most people, if they watch the show, know which episode I'm talking about. I didn't really care for the Negan storyline after that. I'm not sure he needed to stay around, but
Negan in the comic is one of the greatest characters of all time. He is so good, and he is just he's one of the greatest characters. I mean, when I saw him come to the show, I was like, "This is going to be wonderful." And yeah, that guy does a really good job. But Negan in the comic, he's just like every other word is the F-bomb, and it's over the top, like silly, which makes it even funnier. And I thought I read somewhere at one point where all of his scenes on the show, they shot 2 versions, one clean for cable and one more, comic appropriate where he's cursing and stuff. And they were planning on releasing that with like the DVD release or something. I don't know how true that is. I'd love to see those versions because it's just,
I have
good.
several of the.
Oh,
seasons.
interesting.
I'll have to look. I'll have to. Well, I'll have to look to see if that's the case. If they did that, I don't have the most recent ones, but I have several of the seasons.
But Chris, you should go back seriously and read the comics.
Okay, we have
if you're a big
some of
fan.
them.
Yeah, it's so good. And then there's Here's Negan. I got the paperback of that, which is like a off comic that gives you like Negan's backstory. I was a big fan. I was the opposite.
Yeah, I
of you,
made the
Dave.
mistake of reading the comics because Tom had sent me some.
Yeah.
Or I read them, and then I got ahead of the show and just completely lost interest in both.
Well, I mean,
And then
The show was no fun anymore because the comic,
but
I
they're
liked it
different.
better.
I mean,
and then I just went, whatever, and then moved on.
Ironically, in the show, they do head up towards Richmond and stuff too. So it's just kind of funny that when you're saying they were casting because they did everything in Georgia, but they pretended like they were in other places as they traveled.
Yeah, they're shooting something from like February to June or something up here, but it's the other one, whatever it is.
And what's interesting for some of the tours we've done is some people that have been actors in it, more the walkers, the zombies, they are the tour guides that kind of walk you through.
Nice.
And there's levels of if you're a walker and if you're closer to the camera, if you speak and different, and you have the contact lenses, or maybe you don't because you're further back, and you can go to zombie school and all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
The first tour we ever did, which we'll put pictures with, it's really cool because you see how he walks. He's in his horse and he's walking into downtown Atlanta, and everything's Armageddon, and you see where it was shot exactly. But obviously, they did a lot to it CGI.
Oh yeah,
and
right.
Some of the areas where he was, Hunger Games has been filmed, and Avengers has been filmed, and like all these other, they take the area and they totally redo it for like major motion pictures. So we have some stuff to show with that. So we're excited about
That's awesome. Yeah. I'd be curious to see that. That'd be good.
So we got filming locations on the blocks. We have the Six Flags
He's
video.
like, let's get
coming
back
out
on track.
tomorrow. I'm bringing the Tom of the YouTube here.
Podcast Tom.
You do that on the podcast.
Yes.
So I'm playing so Chris, do we have a Disney hotel video coming out soon?
Oh, we do. Yes. I'm in mid-edit of it. We actually recorded our opinions of various hotels that we've stayed at. We've watched a lot of vloggers cover hotels in the last 3 or 4 months. They've all been hosted. Every single person has been hosted covering either, let me put it this way, they've been hosted or they've been given DVC points by people to kind of stay. And so we were like, we pay. And so why don't we give our opinions of some of the, we've only stayed a few places, but kind of what it's like and why you choose certain things. And we ask the kids their opinions of it too.
We do a deep dive of versus off property.
And show some pictures and websites and cost and that sort of stuff. Not unlike some of the stuff you do, Tom, on the podcast, walking through what you need to consider. So there's differences between all those places.
So, and I heard.
So
we pay full price.
Suckers.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I saw there was one thing I saw in the news that Disney extended the reservation system or something through the end of next year.
Yeah,
saw that.
So as part of your thing, would you mind explaining how somebody who doesn't understand Disney could go to the park in the next couple of years?
Yes,
Because I don't understand how you would book a vacation, buy tickets, and then still not know how to get in the park. I'm rather confused to the whole process because it's like,
Yikes.
I have to have tickets before I pick my date.
You do.
Yeah.
It's rather confusing and a little bit scary.
Some people get very frustrated because they'll have bought stuff and they didn't. If you don't make the reservation, if you don't pay attention, you don't make the reservation, you could buy tickets at a time. Like this past weekend, President's Day was very full and you bought and didn't reserve and you may not be able to get in. So there's definitely, now if you're doing it all through the Disney website, it's prompting you everywhere with big letters and colors. And if they're incenting you to stay on property because there's more openings for you on property versus off property, or if you have an annual pass. There's like when we went in August, I had an annual pass that was ending and they bought tickets and I could only book 3 days with an annual pass. So I only booked our first 3 days and then had to pray that as soon as we finished the first day, I could book the fourth day. So we went, it worked out, but if it was super busy, it wouldn't have worked. We would have missed, and we knew that, but like, you already have that money. I'm not going to spend another, because it's expensive. You know, it's over $100 a day right now for Disney.
Yeah.
So, but we all love it, you know.
We will work that in, Joanna. That's not going to be a problem.
Oh, thank you.
I say we, I mean Chris.
We just do a separate video on planning that.
That's not an easy one to edit. There's a lot of pieces to it, so that's why I keep kidding her. We are going to see. I put it on a live stream, put it on YouTube, so it's committed. Committed.
I even have videos of kids when they were really little and we're riding Surrey bikes around the Riverside stuff, like from when we stayed there. So just trying to find.
Where does no spoilers, of course, but can you give us a taste of where Caribbean Beach falls in your list? Have you stayed at Caribbean Beach?
Not stayed at Caribbean Beach.
Oh.
So when we were looking, the last time we stayed on property, we stayed at Coronado Springs twice because Caribbean Beach was under major construction and so everything was shut. So we opted not to. But Coronado was under construction too at the time, building their Grand Destino Tower. So
I would say with Caribbean Beach, though, it's very polarizing, just because it's where the Skyliner station is.
Yeah,
a lot of people love it for that, but a lot of people also don't like it because it's unbelievably spread out. From what I read, we've stayed at Coronado multiple times, and Coronado is really spread out. And if Caribbean Beach is more spread out than that, I think Caribbean Beach has 9 bus stops, if I read that correctly.
It's insane. You have to request, a room, which we did, obviously, and we did it. So we had it perfectly planned, and heaven. We love it. Like that was one of our favorite. Well, I think it was. Well, this is your only Disney vacation.
Yeah, it's the only time I stayed on.
It's one of my favorite vacations, and I think that's my favorite resort. And even though, you're right, Dave. People just they've always bagged on Caribbean Beach. Like they're not fans of that resort. But personally, I absolutely I loved it.
I only had the one gripe about it because it was so far away from everything. You had to walk a lot. And one of the nights we were there, it was pouring down rain. So I was like, I don't want to walk through this. So I tried to order pizza. I said, oh, no, we don't deliver in the rain.
Now,
why do I want it delivered?
Let me clarify. We're talking 75 yards, maybe, is how far she's referring to as far as having to walk. We're not.
You had to go over a bridge and up in that rain. It was kind of wet.
Yeah, it was not.
I said it was a minor gripe, right?
It was not a far. If you would have seen the other places, like Dave said, it is so spread out. If you're in those, and it's the funny thing is, those rooms way off to the ends, like they could barely ever sell those. So then they turn them into, I don't know what they have the themed rooms, and then now they charge more for them, and they're so far out, like they're geniuses, right? Like Disney's just like, well, we can't sell these ones. Now we're going to make them pirates. We're going to charge more. And now people are fighting to get in. It's like, oh my Lord, you guys are good. Yeah.
Turn them into timeshares.
Yeah.
The first time we stayed at Coronado, we arrived, we flew in like for a weekend and the kids were little and we were going to a Christmas party and it's cold and it was late. You remember it was like 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And they tell us, okay, here's where your room is. And it was like way the heck on the other end of that property with 2 kids that were probably 6 and 8 and dragging the luggage. It was freezing. And I was like, oh my God. Our second time staying there was a better experience, but it was the worst. Like you're like, you know where you're going on that, but you're like walking through these sidewalks trying to figure out what building. Oh my God, in the dark. That thing was killer.
Yeah, I use touringplans.com. So on their site, they'll tell you like the best rooms you can get. Like, and they'll break it out to preferred, because preferred you have to pay extra for. But so they'll say, hey, these are the best rooms you can get. And then you can even sign up where they'll fax the room request for you like 4 days before you go. So they make no guarantees that you'll get the room. But I did that. We got the rooms we wanted. They were the closest ones you could get that weren't preferred, and it worked out wonderfully.
We did a fax of room request
random numbered
for Coronado room request. It didn't help at all. The second time we stayed there, it didn't. It was like, no. They're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, we did the same thing, and it like went over like a lead balloon.
Hell yeah.
I know, Tom, you mentioned Disneyland earlier. That just reminds me, in our next stream in 2 weeks, on Thursday, March 4th at 8 o'clock, we're going to have Monarch Moments on. So we're going to have Michelle and Hannah on. They're West Coast based. So we're going to talk about DCA and Disneyland quite a bit. And we just dug out of our Disney vault, as we say, a bunch of our DCA content this last week.
Nice.
So we put on a DCA kind of a walking tour that just has the sound of the parks. We did a short on Paint the Night Parade, which they had in DCA, which is really cool. And then we had a best of Cars Land, which I kind of pasted together a Radiator Springs POV, a little bit of walking around at night to see all that neon, and then it had the Luigi Rollick and Roadsters POV on the end. So
nice.
Yeah, we mixed well with the 20th anniversary of DCA. So plus they're getting some, sounds like they're going to open up here pretty soon in the middle of March. So we're going to have Michelle, Hannah on, and the gang from Monarch Moments in 2 weeks on Thursday, March 4th at 8 o'clock. So look forward to that.
That'll be interesting to hear what they think, because I'm sure they're probably annual pass holders, right? Are they now?
I believe that they are.
They're the legacy ones now. They basically
they are. I heard they say on the streams. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be curious to see what they think about that, and what the future holds for. They're probably gonna go to a membership, and it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I'll be curious. I feel for them, because none of their parks are open. So unless they
nothing is open.
Yeah, it's like rough.
Nothing.
I mean, I guess Knott's, you could go and do they opened up for the food stuff, right? So you couldn't ride any of the rides, but you could still go in and eat and stuff. So kind of what Disneyland's going to be doing, where they're going to open up for some food stuff. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It will be very. Who was I talking to that there's rumors that Disney may relocate their headquarters out of California to Orlando? Did you hear that rumor?
I think we hear that they're moving different like business units over, and then that was a rumor. I don't know if they could do that though.
I would, man. I'd be like, that's a big screw you to California. Like, man, you guys are just holding us down. Because those parks, they're not going to open up as parks the way Newsom wants. Like 1 in like a million people have to be.
Yeah, they're the color tiered system they have there. Yeah,
they're never going to open those parks up if those are the restrictions. So. Yeah, Disney's in a hard spot there. So if they start moving out some of their business units, they start losing some tax revenue. Maybe they'll change their minds. But
just think about moving something like that. I can't even imagine what that would take for them.
I mean, the tax benefits if Florida is so good that you'd think they would consider it anyway. But California is where the movies are. I can see where, and that's where Walt's home was. Home park. So what are you gonna do?
We've heard those rumors too. It's kind of interesting to listen and watch and see what happens. We're sitting in our homes all nice and comfy, kind of watching what's going to happen.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to watch in 2 weeks to see what they have to say.
Yeah, it's interesting. Opposites. You all are in Virginia area. You have your park open year round. We in the Southeast have our park open for drive-through events in March, and they don't really have
anything is open. Yeah,
the nicest weather parks not open at all. The second best not open right now, and the worst weather we're open.
Come
We
ride
got
the
an
roller
ice
coaster.
storm.
38
Come on.
degrees.
And
30 degrees.
Florida's just always open. They're just roll out the red carpet and everybody comes,
Yeah.
no matter what you're bringing.
man.
It's like,
That's wonderful.
Okay, well, we're gonna wrap up this stream. Super appreciate both Tom and Joanna taking
Yes.
time out to talk with us. Fun as always. Be sure and check out Vacationeers, Theme Parks, and More on YouTube, on their YouTube channel, and check them out on their podcast. We put the link up there a couple times. It's in the description of this video if you want to watch the replay. If you're watching the replay, check
thank
them
you.
out.
Thank you for hanging for this long.
Yes.
This
This
is like
is
when we do
average for us,
podcasts
right?
with them. Yeah,
Yep.
we talk for hours. It goes on for a long time.
The difference is we'll stop recording and just keep doing this for another 2 hours.
Keep going.
It's very true. Very true. But thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
Thanks
you.
for having us. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I couldn't think of a better first guest. I couldn't think of another first
Yes.
guest. I don't.
First one
I
to
don't
say
count
yes.
the ground. I don't count the groundhog. So
And thanks to Karki for moderating.
Yes. Thank you, Karki. Well, we're going to keep you busier on the next stream when people actually are going to be able to leave comments. So apologize for that. We'll figure that out on the next stream. Thanks for those that have watched and stayed with us the whole 2 hours.
Yes. Thank
I
you.
know it's a busy Thursday night, so I appreciate everybody watching. If you enjoyed the content, you want to see more live streams, more Disney, Dollywood filming locations, Six Flags, Universal, please consider subscribing to our own YouTube channel. We would love to have you in the kind of our adventurer family. And we release videos on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and then doing a live stream every other Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. So
Did you guys get all that?
Did you get it all? Did I get all, did I get all
Can
my
you
plugs?
repeat
Maybe
that?
go back
Hold
and
on.
watch it later.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for being here.
Cheers.
And yes, thanks. Have a great evening, Tom and Joanne. And then what do we want to say when we wrap up here, Chris?
Oh, well, we say,
Yeah.
may the adventures be with you, but you guys each say something.
What do you say, Tom?
Yes. What do I say? Hold on. I see you're catching me off guard.
Oh,
I've
man.
only done 100 and some episodes, and I still don't know what I say. Keep making memories.
That's right.
And have a Six Flags day.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you guys. Bye, Tom.
you.
Bye, Joanna.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and
Ringing a bell.
so you'll be notified of our next upload. And as always, may the adventures be with you.